You still play old games with bad graphics? Be honest too.
Absolutely. I think you can. I think you can. You gotta be selective, but I think you can.
Okay. Give me some games that you.
Metal Gear Solid, the one I'm currently playing.
Okay.
You can absolutely do it. Is it pixelated to hell?
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you have controls are tight. You have great gameplay, and you have a good story.
Definitely a good story. Yes, I agree.
That's what you need. Now there are different genres of game. Here's another one that I can play all the time. I'm really talking about TurboGrafx, but here you go. but here you go. Blazing Lasers. I can play Blazing Lasers all the time. Never beaten it. One of the games I want to beat, but I can play it all the time because the graphics on that are very pixelated, 16-bit at that point, but there's action. Things feel right, you know? I think there are games that can play it. I don't understand how some people can play certain games that look bad, but I guess it holds them in with a story. A lot of people are going to crap on me in the comments, and feel free to do so. Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, those Zelda games for the 64 are hard to look at. They're hard to look at.
I agree.
So I believe you can. Metal Gear Solid, Blazing Lasers.
Well,
I think that's about all. At the moment, that's all I can really think about.
Well, keep thinking of something right now. I'm going to go with mine, and I'm going to get more flack for this, obviously. But you guys know I talked about this on the channel before. Shadow Madness. All right.
You're really pushing that.
I'm really pushing Shadow Madness, man. Shadow Madness has a great story, at least to me. You know, Tarkus Gauntlet, he might think differently, but I felt like it had a good story, strong characters, which is what draw me into an RPG.
Right.
Obviously, the battle system wasn't that great. The graphics looked horrific. You know, the whole thing with them, they wanted it to look like Final Fantasy VII graphics.
Right.
You know, it's the difference between actually looking like Final Fantasy VII and then trying to look like Final Fantasy VII. They tried to look, and they failed. I mean, the character models in that game look horrific, and it's like, dude. But I was able to find joy out of the game because the funny dialogue, the music, some of the gameplay mechanics. You know, when it comes to like traveling over the map to different locations. You know how they would have random battles back in the day?
Yeah.
Well, this game, you would hear something growl, like really loud. So that means if you wanted to fight the enemy, don't just
stay out of that area.
Not stay at that area because it would take over the whole screen.
Oh, okay.
But how you would avoid the fight was you had to duck down, and hopefully the monster wouldn't come after you. Now you can't see the monster, but you had to duck down if you didn't want to fight, and it would randomly fight or not fight. I thought that was really cool. I know it sounds like really like crazy right now how it is, but I thought that was a cool element. I'm gonna push it a little bit more, but I think people should play that game. It has bad graphics, probably some of the worst ever, but I think the game is still worth playing. And the cover of the game looks silly, man, because I don't know if you look at the cover of the game, the guy's holding the sword in this weird position. It's like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like his feet all together and holding it on the ground. Like, what is this? But anyway, Shadow Madness is one of mine. Do you have another one?
Game with bad graphics that I can play all the time. Yeah. This is okay. I'm trying. Man, people are gonna crap on me so hard right now.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Reggie, you know I'm goth. I'm really goth, right?
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the Game Boy Color. I really like that. Okay, I know it looks like ass. You look like Mary-Kate and Ashley punching vampires and Frankensteins, but it has really good gameplay.
Okay.
There's levels to it. There's these stupid cutscenes that make it look like the show, like legit dialogue like the show, but there's actually like a maze. There's a sequence to go through there. There's like a certain jump pattern that you have to do. I enjoy the game to that extent like that. So that's one. Another one that I would really say graphics are terrible, but I enjoy the game. Tekken 2. I really like Tekken 2. Okay. The graphics have aged. They have aged. They're not pretty. They are not pretty at all whatsoever. King looks ridiculous in a what is it? It's like a suit and tie and suspenders, but it's great. The fighting mechanics is great. Jack 2 or Jack and Jack 2,
unplayable.
Yeah, Yeah, and they're just like big blocky dudes, and they're like celebrations. The moon jump that you do, you know,
especially in part 1. At least one thing about Tekken 2, though, I do love the intro scene, the intro cinematic.
Yeah.
I love how that's put out, man. And
is it Jake? No, I'm trying to remember his name. The one that gets on the bike, the one with like
Paul.
the tall Paul. I'm sorry, yeah, Paul, not Logan Paul or Jake Paul. Paul, with their tall head, and he's like, yeah, he's in a motorcycle. Yeah, it's sick. You see martial law there and stuff like that. It's yeah, like that game I can play, no doubt, and that's a fighting game.
Yeah.
That's a fighting game.
I think
Rival Schools looks like ass too.
Yeah, I think a lot of the games from the PlayStation era may not have aged well, but I can still enjoy them for their great gameplay and everything like that. So I would choose more games from that era. Another game that I could play that looks horrible, you guys are gonna laugh at, a Death Trap Dungeon for the PlayStation 1.
Is that Deception?
No, Death Trap Dungeon is like Tomb Raider in medieval times in a way. Like you go through this, you're trying to find all this gold.
Okay.
I get all this guy's gold or whatever like that, and he invites you to try to get it, but you have to survive the traps in his dungeon, and it has all kind of crazy traps. It's hard to see stuff, and it's just really, it's bad graphics, but the gameplay is fun somewhat. You know, you see some silly stuff going on. The opening cinematic is hilarious. That's probably the best thing the game has going for it for most people, but that's another game I can still play that has horrible graphics. And I'm going to leave it at that one because we're going to get a lot of flack in the comments for the games we chose.
Oh, then I would like to go deep. I would like to go balls deep on this next one.
What you got?
All right. One that I think has terrible graphics, but I could always put it in. No one talks about it. No one cares about it. Is Gex for the
Enter the Gecko?
Yes. I love that game. It looks awful. The enemies look awful, but it could be nostalgia for me. But I can put that game in and be like, okay, I know where all the remotes are. I know to do this. I know how to do that. The storyline is stupid. To me, what keeps that game going for me is literally the laugh factor. You know, there's a code you could put in which makes them say the jokes every single time you press select. I can play that all day, and I love it so much. And the crazy thing is that game is a collectathon, which you don't see that many games like that anymore. But I enjoy it.
Did you like the jokes in the game? Did it make you laugh?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, like legit.
Okay.
Like legit. Let me laugh. My favorite joke that he had was
I'm here for the real world interview.
Yeah, there's that one.
That's
There's
that
that one. But he does a James Bond, and you know he's a gecko, right? And he eats flies, and he's like, "Dead fly martini, shaken not stirred." It's like that's so cool. So that's one. That's one.
Okay, cool. Hey everybody, welcome to a nonchalant video. X sent me a package, and I'm just gonna do an unboxing for you guys and show you what's inside. I have a somewhat of an idea what was inside, but X said he threw it in a surprise. So I said, hey, why not do a video of it? So me and X always trade games. I actually sent him a package a couple weeks ago and everything like that. But you know, it's funny seeing this package. You know, I'm surprised X. It says he spent $6 to send this, and usually when you get over the $5 mark, man, X is like kind of hesitant when it comes to dropping that money. But thankfully he did. Let's see what he got in here for me. Man, let's see here. So if you don't know who X is, you know he does the podcast with me and everything like that. So if you're familiar with watching the podcast, you're familiar with the videos that me and him do. So okay, oh he clamped it all together. Okay, I gotta do some more cutting here. So it looks like we got some Game Boy Advance games here, which I believe I was expecting. Let's see what we got here. Lots of tearing. X made sure this was protected. I gotta give him credit, man. He packaged it well. So, Defender for the Game Boy Advance. I've seen this, but I never really ever like paid attention to it. You know, I remember playing Defender back when I was like I think I played Defender when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I remember I was playing it on a friend's computer, and I thought it was amazing how you go back and forth and gotta kill the enemies on the screen and everything like that. And you can see the map at the bottom. Pretty cool stuff. And Defender Midway was kind of like remaking the older games, I guess, back in the day. So Midway's no longer around, but still, when they were here, man, I mean, seriously, Midway was awesome. We had a good time with that company. It's sad to see that they're folded, but yeah, man, they put out some good stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna be awesome. I love Game Boy Advance games, so X, good looking out, man. I know you paid cheap for it too, man. It probably was like $2, wasn't it? You bought it for $2 somewhere. Bust and Move 4, which pretty much every Bust and Move game I want to say is they're fundamentally the same, but you know, new graphics. They might quirk it up a little bit, change something up just to change things up, but more like most of the time they're pretty much the same. So it's nice to have another Game Boy Color game in the mix. I haven't got a new Game Boy Color game since I got RoboCop. So X, good looking out as usual. And there's a note in here. It's big box only, but cartridges for 10 complete. This is that's something. Oh, he's talking about something else. I don't know. What are you talking about, X? And he hooked me up with the NBA Shootout 2001. As you know, the NBA Shootout games are not being made anymore. That was the 989 Studios, creators of Siphon Filter, and also I think they turned into that company that makes the what's that zombie game called where the guys run around on a motorcycle? I forgot what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. That's who 989 Studios is now, I think. But X knows I like demo discs, so good looking out, bro. Man, Chris Webber, man, that was supposed to be their year, man, but they got man, the referees ruined that for them. And Dino Crisis 2, man. I think this is a demo disc, right? A Japanese demo disc for Dino Crisis 2. Dino Crisis 2, I feel, is like the best one in the series. Well, it has its ups and downs. I mean, the first one, obviously, when it comes to survival horror, is the best one. Part 2 just really changed things up, and the story was really like awesome in Part 2. I mean, if you guys have played Dino Crisis 2, you guys know what I'm talking about. But Dino Crisis 1, man, it's hard to choose which one I like better between them, man. They're both awesome games, man. But definitely, Dino Crisis 2 is what I would call something that's really unique, I'd say. So, anyways, guys, that's it for this short little video. I thought I'd just throw this in for you guys to check out. And that's all I got for you. Radical Reggie, and we will see you later.